Personnel Committee meeting. We'll go ahead and get started by taking roll. Director Janelle?
Here.
Director Frye?
Here.
Director Herman? Absent today. And I'm here. So the first item on our agenda is public comment. Has anyone signed up for public comment?
Did you sign up?
No, but can they use microphones? Because I can't hear.
So can you just move that and then push the button? Yeah. Did you do a personnel? No. Okay.
No, not for this one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. So we just completed our committee roll call. We have no public comment. So with that, we'll move forward to approving the April 28th committee meeting, April 28th, 2025 Personnel Committee minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And so we'll move along to our two agenda items. The first being the review and approval of a new job description for the position of district-wide translator English-Spanish. Ms. Kleiman?
Yes. So on the screen or in your packets, you'll see the new job description for our district-wide translator for English to Spanish to English and English to Spanish. This right now, over 70% of our translations are Spanish. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Is that better? Is that better? Okay. So we contract out for all those services, so we're looking to bring someone on board so that we have that more readily available to us, help answer our Spanish dedicated phone line that we currently have, help with registrations, help with everything we do in district, as well as right now we send a lot of our larger documents out, like IEPs or evaluations, to be translated into Spanish. That will help keep a lot of that work in district.
Thank you. Any questions? Anyone on the committee? On the board? Okay. Well, with that, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I just have a quick comment or question. For the hiring of this position, are we going to try and find someone whose native language is Spanish, like from the community?
I mean, we'll post the job position and everyone can apply for it, and whoever the best candidate is would be the chosen one for that one.
Okay.
Okay, our second agenda item is a review and approval of a new job description and position for a plumbing mechanic. Mr. Burser.
Okay, this position is a plumbing mechanic one position, and they would ultimately be responsible for the lion's share of the plumbing work in the district. With aging infrastructure and the just overall age of the district, it is necessary to have a plumber that works full-time in it. Currently, our HVAC and plumbing department works together, and this would give an opportunity for that person to focus their efforts onto the plumbing. They would still report to the HVAC plumbing supervisor, and would still work out of that department. But as I said, their primary function would be to look at plumbing systems, whether that be backflows for water, whether that be toilet fixtures, etc. Right? So water lines. There's really not a whole lot to the position in the sense of explaining it. I mean, it's a plumbing position. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. But
This is a backfill? We've had plumbers employed through the district previously, or is this the first time we're actually hiring a plumber?
So we have had people who have worked within the HVAC department who do plumbing work. This is the first time we've created a plumbing one position for the purpose of having somebody specifically only for plumbing.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the committee? Comments? All right. With that, all in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. And with that, those are our two agenda items for this evening. And our next committee meeting will be Monday, August 25th. Meeting is adjourned.
call to order the July 28, 2025 meeting of the Westchester School Board. Let us begin with the salute to our flag. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have no special announcements this evening. Next on the agenda is roll call. Ms. Cherishore.
President Fleming,
Here.
Vice President Bevilacqua,
Here.
Director Christie,
Here.
Director Dietrich,
Here.
Director Brunel,
Here.
Director Fry,
Here.
Director Herman, Director Parkinson,
Here.
Director Wamsley.
Here. Thank you, Ms. Cherishore. Next up is public comment. Do we have any public comment tonight on agenda items?
We just, we have two non-agenda items tonight.
Okay, so we'll save those for the end of the meeting. Thank you, Mr. Kornowski, is that correct?
You got it, yes, thank you.
Great, thank you. Now we'll approve the minutes from the June 16, 2025 meeting. May I have approval to approve the June 16, 2025 meeting minutes? May I have a first? Director Dietrich, may I have a second? Director Dornell? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I have an executive session announcement for tonight. Ms. Cherishore, please note in the minutes that the board met in executive session tonight, July 28, 2025, regarding a legal matter. We'll move on to approving tonight's agenda. Now is the opportunity for board members to request changes to the board agenda. Are there any requests for changes? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the July 28, 2025 agenda? Vice President Bevilacqua, may I have a second? Director Wamsley? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And now Dr. Christopher will give us his report.
I just have a brief report this evening. I want people to know that earlier this evening we did have a chance to meet with some of our Exton Elementary and Fugit and East families about a spot redistricting that we'll be doing in the 26-27 school year. Information about that redistricting effort will be on our website. Moving forward, it turns out that the area around Exton is just growing pretty rapidly, and so we are going to be moving some students within the school district to some different locations. And that was a positive meeting. That's our third meeting with families from that group. Also want to make note that our work on our virtual graduate continues to move forward. We actually have a meeting tomorrow at Ruston High School with our committee, and we look forward to seeing many of our staff and families and community members tomorrow. We're hoping to get final designs and try and lock that thing down so we can be ready to get moving in fall with our portrait, which we're excited about. While summer often brings transitions, and we're always sad to see Westchester folks moving on, we're equally excited to welcome new leaders to the Westchester team. On cue, they walked in just now. So pending board approval this evening, we look forward to Dr. Alexis McGoy joining us as interim principal at Fugit Middle School. Mr. Anthony Froyo will be moving from Stetson over to Fugit to assist her. And Ms. Macy Basin is also here, who will be backfilling Mr. Anthony Froyo at Stetson Middle School as the assistant. So we're grateful to have them here this evening, and we're excited for them to get started. We also want to take a moment and thank Dr. Jeff Ulmer for his years of service. Tonight will be Jeff's last board meeting before Terry Rita assumes the role of Director of Human Resources, and she'll be making these reports in our next meeting. So thank you, Jeff, and we appreciate your service.
Thank you.
We look forward to starting the school year strong, and we are getting ready to get off and running. I also want to put out, I think all of us, I think everyone received their print newsletter, our first print newsletter. I think it went really well. I'm excited to see how we're able to use that new media to connect with families and with our community. That went to everyone in the school district, not just parents. So I want to thank Molly for all that work on that. It turned out really well, so thank you. That's it.
Great, thank you, Dr. Christopher. And, well, Dr. Ulmer, the last one, so make it a good one.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
Mrs. Fleming, Mr. Bevilacqua, and members of our board. Our personnel report for the month of July 2025 is as follows. With removals from payroll, we have 16 resignations this month, 9 teachers, 3 secretaries, 1 principal, 1 athletic trainer, 1 librarian, and 1 custodian. Additionally, we have 6 retirement notifications. First, we have Mrs. Nancy Angelucci, 2nd grade teacher at East Goshen Elementary School with 39 years of service. And we have Mr. Matthew DeAngelis, master mechanic at Facilities and Operations Center with 24 years of experience and service. Mrs. Sarah Doherty, 2nd grade teacher at Mary C. House Elementary School with 18 years of service. Mrs. Diane Jacobs, special education teacher at Ruston High School with 19 years of service. Mrs. Cindy Lafferty, secretary to the assistant principals at Stetson Middle School with 20 years of service. And finally, Ms. Donna Marino, English language paraprofessional at East Goshen Elementary School with 18 years of service. We wish our retirees nothing but happiness as they begin this new, exciting chapter in their lives. Congratulations and thank you. In addition to payroll, we're recommending the hiring of 16 teachers, 1 instructional coach, 1 reading specialist, 1 speech and language pathologist, and 4 long-term substitutes. Additionally, we're very lucky to be recommending 2 administrators to the Westchester team. First, Elaine Geyer, who we are recommending as an instructional technology coordinator at Spelman Education Center. Elaine is coming to us from Downingtown Area School District. Furthermore, we're recommending Macy Basom as an assistant principal at Stetson Middle School. Macy's coming to us from Darby School District. Macy, would you please stand and be recognized? In our support staff, we're recommending the hiring of 1 special education paraprofessional. In temporary summer staff, we're recommending 17 teachers, tutors, and paraprofessionals. In personnel events, I communicated and delivered 2 status changes in the professional group, 4 status changes in the non-bargaining staff, and 1 status change in the support staff. Also, I communicated and delivered 4 involuntary transfers in the teaching staff for the 25-20 school year, and 1 involuntary transfer in the non-bargaining group. Furthermore, I communicated and delivered 3 voluntary transfers in the teachers group and 1 voluntary transfer in the administrative group. In additional information, we're reporting 6 updated start dates, a rescindment of an acceptance of a position, a salary adjustment, an update for years of service, a tenure update, stipends from Special Olympics for 3 employees, and the approval of the Act 93 administrative group salaries and merit performance bonuses per the Act 93 administrators compensation plan. In supplemental contracts, we are adding 19 fall contracts for the 25-26 school year, 501 annual contracts for the 25-26 school year. We're removing 5 contracts from the fall 25-26 school year, and 4 adjustments to contracts for fall 25-26. Lastly, we are recommending 60 employees for gain help. I'm respectfully requesting board approval for all personnel matters listed above. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ulmer, and on behalf of the board, we wish you much happiness in your retirement. We'll miss you, and thank you for your years of service. How many years have you been with the district?
32.
Wow, all right, good luck, we'll miss you.
Thank you so much.
You
I really
couldn't hang
appreciate
in there to hit 35?
Mrs.
tried. Yeah,
Mrs.
doing good.
Angelucci got 39. She told
I
me.
know,
So-
she did.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the July 28th, 2025, I'm sorry, I just lost my spot, to request the personnel report as presented. May I have a first, Director, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm like, Director. Call you doctor, did I call you the doctor? Mr. Christie, and may I have a second, Vice President Bevilacqua, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. And just catching my place here again. Okay, so that was, okay, sorry. Next, we'll approve the consent agenda for tonight. We don't have any changes, I don't believe, to the consent agenda. So I may have a motion to approve the July 28, 2025 consent agenda as listed. first from Dr. Dietrich. May I have a second from Director Parkinson? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we will now move on to our committee report. I believe we have a personnel committee report from Director Parkinson.
Yes, the Personnel Committee meeting was held immediately preceding the board meeting. The committee approved the job description and position of district-wide translator for English and Spanish, and also the job description and position of plumbing mechanic 1. I do have 2 agenda items for board vote tonight. Approval is requested for the new job description and position of district-wide translator English-Spanish. I so move.
I have a first from Director Parkinson. May I have a second? Dr. Dietrich? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Approval is requested of the new job description and position of plumbing mechanic 1. I so move.
I have a first from Director Parkinson. May I have a second? Director Fry? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much, Director Parkinson. And we'll move on to Director Christie with this month's legislative report.
Thank you. The Legislative Council, excuse me, it's very loud. The Legislative Council last met on June 25th. Krista Fazio from the CCIU provided a legislative update. There are a lot of education bills that could potentially be part of the still unresolved state budget. Some bills that have passed the State House already, and this is just a small taste of truly the dozens of education-related bills that are floating out there. HB 17, which would require, which would mandate the teaching of cursive writing, and HB 1402, which would reduce certification fees for teachers. And like I said, there's no news on when a state budget may get passed, but maybe we'll hear more at the end of August. And at the federal level, there has been a lot happening. In early July, the Trump administration froze $6.8 billion in federal education funding. This impacted districts all across the country, including here in Chester County and our district. The majority of funding was set aside for legally mandated support for English language learners and teacher training. The Federal Education Department sent out a 3-sentence email on June 30th, alerting states that the funding would not be available the next day as expected. 24 Democratic-led states sued the administration, and legislators on both sides advocated for it to be released. Through much pressure, last Friday, after nearly a month of uncertainty, the Trump administration did say it would be releasing the funds this week, claiming their review of the funding was complete. It's unclear what that review entailed or the results of it. Hopefully our districts and ones across the country will be able to access that funding here in the coming days. Our next meeting for the Legislative Council will be held on August 27th at 6:30 p.m. And this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Christie. And we do not have a CCIU report tonight, but I believe Director Dornell had something for all of the board members?
Yes. The IU put together a summary for each of the school districts that they support. So this summary is specifically for Westchester. And I wanted to mention it publicly and then share it with each board member. And I believe I have enough for cabinet members. Maybe not all of you might have to share it. But certainly, it just shows how many students benefit from the services and programs at the IU. It's just a great summary, and I just wanted you all to know about it and have a copy. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we also have several other business items to vote on tonight. First up is Director Dornell.
Thank you, President Fleming. Approval is requested of the JP settlement agreement and release. I so move.
Okay, I have a first from Director Dornell. May I have a second? Dr. Dietrich, are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, approval is requested of the IG and VG settlement agreement and release. I so move.
I have a first from Director Dornell. May I have a second? Director Christie, any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then finally, approval is requested of the professional services agreement with American Association of School Administrators, Inc., doing business as AASA, the School Superintendent's Association, effective September 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, for a fee of $24,500. I so move.
I have a first from Director Darnell. May I have a second? Director Fry. Any questions or comment?
I have a question. Can we just,
Sure.
can someone just share what that is for exactly, please? Sure.
This is for our portrait of our graduate work. So formerly, we partnered with the Cell for Kids, which has now been acquired by AASA. So for our portrait of graduate work, we worked with Dr. Colin Lewis for our 2 meetings that we had in May. We have another meeting tomorrow. In the fall, what we'll engage in is work with Dr. Shannon King, who will lead us in that road mapping work. So how do we take that portrait process and make it actionable in all of our schools and classrooms? So that agreement is allowing us to engage in that continued work.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. Any other comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I believe Director Parkinson also has a motion for tonight.
Yes. Approval is requested of the Wine Advisory LLC independent contractor agreement to serve as acting principal at the Fugate Middle School at a daily rate of $850 a day, effective July 29th, 2025. I so move.
I have a first from Director Parkinson. May I have a second? Director Darnell, any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And finally, Vice President Bevilacqua has 3 motions for tonight.
Yeah, there'll be three motions today, but what I'm going to do is, due to the fact that the board hasn't looked at these or seen these potentially before, I was just going to have to, Mr. Gerster speak just briefly at a high level of each, and then after he explains them just briefly at a high level, I'll then put the motion for the board to approve. And anybody reviewing the agenda, these are K5 through 7.
For the sake of the community, I just figured to come around the microphone. So the 3 separate projects, the first one is the an award for generator work at all 3 of our middle schools. We had replaced our generators and we're significantly under budget. What we had found is that there was some more work that we really should have done through that process. So the first portion of this work would be to, or the first award request would be to fund that work for the 3 different generators. And unfortunately, I can grab my computer and go through them if you need me to, but that would be great. I appreciate it. So the first one, the project number is CO74. This is in reference to Stetson Middle School. The vendor is Power Premium Services. It's the same vendor for all the different projects. The award amount for this specific one is for $17,000.
Yeah, that's, I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, I can read this.
I appreciate it.
So the second one is if you get middle school replacement, the award amount for that is for $34,50, leaving a project balance of $71,754. And the last one is at East Bradford, for the award is for $84,59, leaving a project balance of $60,322. So those are the 3 projects.
And what this will effectively do is put 2 transfer switches at each building location and main breakers for that, for the generator. So it gives an opportunity to separate the transfer of load to 2 different locations for generator systems.
Thank you, Wayne, for giving the update on that. Anybody on the board have any questions before we go forward with the motion? All right,
I have a question.
Please do.
For informational purposes, how do we prioritize which generators at which schools get replaced?
Absolutely. So when we are looking at the life cycle of the actual generator, we monitor how much they need from a maintenance standpoint, what the actual age is, what the total hours are. So each school, I don't want to get into individual schools if we can, but ultimately some schools we will lose power more often than others, which means that the generator runs more often, which means that the engine ultimately gets more hours on it. We will monitor the hour usage and then the overall maintenance requirements for it in addition to the age.
Thank you.
All All right, so I have a motion for the board for approval tonight. Approval is requested of the capital project bid awards as stated. I so move.
I have a first from Vice President Bevilacqua. May I have a second? Director Christie, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, continuing on with the capital projects, Mr. Brewster. The next item we had was the roof refurbishment at East Bradford.
So, and both of the next two projects are related to each other. So the next project would be the roof refurbishment for East Bradford Elementary School. What this would allow us to do is to put a coating on the roof at East Bradford that will allow us to maintain a warranty on that roof for a total of 25 years, or a minimum of 25 years, I should say. And the amount that we're asking for a budget for this would be in the amount of $975,125.
Thank you, Mr. Brewster. Did anybody on the board have any questions on that item? All right, I do have a motion for the board for approval. Approval is requested of the updated 25-26 capital project list as stated. I so move.
I have a first from Vice President Bevilacqua. May I have a second? Director Wamsley, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the last item for tonight, we did have one other capital project, and it's the East Bradford solar panels.
Right, so this would be a capital reserve project for the solar arrays at East Bradford Elementary School. We're asking for a project budget balance of $485,000 to start building out the arrays.
Thank you, Mr. Brewster. Did anybody have any questions on that item? All right, I do have a motion. Approval is requested of the 25-26 capital reserve project list as stated. I so move.
I have a first from Vice President Bevilacqua. May I have a second? Director Darnell, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Vice President Bevilacqua. Now we are at the time for comments on non-agenda items. I believe we have two. Is that still correct?
That is correct, President Fleming. Now is the time for public comment on non-agenda items. The board will follow the procedures established in policy 903. All individuals wishing to comment this evening were required to properly register prior to the designated start time of tonight's meeting by completing the information specified on the public comment registration card. Once called to the podium, each commenter will begin by stating their first and last name and municipality. Each speaker must limit their comments to 3 minutes or less per public comment period. Commenters may not cede their time to other individuals. Individuals will be notified by the time clock when their time allotted for public comment is expired. The board asks that all commentary be directed to the board as a whole. Public comments may be interrupted or terminated if the commentary exceeds 3 minutes or if the commentary is obscene and or threatening in nature. I will now call the first speaker, and that is Judy DeFonso. And that is 462 Gateswood Drive, East Goshen, topic being Disability Pride Month.
Thank you. We actually don't give out the address anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, we just, the speaker will say the township that they're from.
Please forgive me, I'm so sorry about that. Apologies.
Well, let's just say everyone's got a learning curve to climb, it seems, when you start out, so.
That's right, thank you.
Yes, Judy Fonzo here, and I live in East Goshen, still same place, same old kind of thing. And it's July, and July is Disability Pride Month, and I don't
Just
have
one moment,
and I
ma'am.
don't have a timer.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, ma'am.
Sorry, that's your 3 minutes.
I live in a world where, Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. It seems to be.
I got it.
I can do it on my phone.
Judy, just go ahead and listen. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I need to be able to see it too, so.
Okay, I'll work on
I might need a shorter prescription to see your phone. That's a good one. I like that size, thank you.
That'll do.
Yes, July. July is Disability Pride Month, and actually on Saturday was the 35th anniversary of the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is the reason why July was picked for Disability Pride. And if we go back a couple more years, 50 years ago this year, was the anniversary of the Education for All Handicapped Children Act, which is what we now have as IDEA and IEPs. So, and actually a little bit before that, it was the Park Consent Decree, which was historically the very first time that special education happened, and it happened here in Pennsylvania. And it started off with 13 families and a law firm. And out of that came the Park Consent Decree and the Right to Education Task Forces. And there's a couple other auxiliary kind of documents that go along with that kind of outline how special education needs to be done per the decision. And earlier this month out in Gettysburg, the 29 local task forces got together for a capacity building institute. We're trying to kind of get the word out that the task forces exist, that we're resources for parents, schools, as well as agencies that serve children who have disabilities. I mean, in the beginning, there was nothing. There was no school personnel. They put it on the superintendents to do this because there was no director of special education. The special education really didn't exist. But, you know, the whole idea behind the task force is to kind of be a buffer between parents and the school districts to answer parent questions. Carol Clancy, who's the director of special education, was saying that part of the task of the local task force is actually to kind of prevent due process and lawyers getting involved with special education. And I just wanted to kind of put that word out there, that, you know, it's supposed to be a collaborative effort, that you know, parents and schools are supposed to be working together with the, you know, for the betterment of the students. So I just wanted to kind of come out there. You know, I can't say this at other the school districts because they don't allow me to talk. They don't get to talk here. So I figured I'd start here, and maybe you guys can kind of spread the word a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Unless due processes, they think will be a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you. And the next and final comment is from Sarah Bissett from Westchester. That is in regard to Jeff Ulmer retirement.
No, and thank you for not sharing my address. We just had a redistricting meeting. So as Jeff closes out his remarkable chapter of his career, we can't help but borrow the words of REM and Miss Taylor Swift. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
Oh, no.
Because while it's the end of an era for us, it's the beginning of a well-deserved new adventure for you. Best wishes, John.
All right, thank you for that, Dr. Bissett, and again, from the board, best wishes, Jeff, and thank you for your years of service. Great, that brings us to adjournment, because I did not prepare a quote for tonight, because it's summer. I forgot. We're learning loss too as adults. Our next monthly board meeting is Monday, August 24th, 2025. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Dr. Petrie, may I have a second? Director Christie, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.